Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode, we arrived somewhere, specifically near the port town of Cyprus, in the Hammercrest Isles, I believe it was, very far from where we had to be. Aaron, our companion, was nowhere to be found, and we happened to find a group who was fighting against this order that destroyed the conclave in the tower where we were. On the plus side, we now know what this order is. The Order of Blood. They appear to be taking a lot of power, and they are the ruling power here, and they hate the conclave, the group that we were a part of. Fortunately, this group here, the Sentinels, has decided to help us out. They say they can repair our teleportation rod, and in addition to that, they're going to give us a disguise. Just as Caius had said, there's a bundle of fine clothing in this chest, and resting on top is a folded piece of parchment. Presumably, this is your permit to get into Cyprus. Pants, shirt, cloak, merchant's permit. Well, I need the pants. I have a merchant's permit is that. Cloak, I do like that kind of cloak, so I don't need that one. I'll put that on, see if that works. Regardless of the shirt. Nothing else in here. I guess now we can leave. On the plus side, we have some wares. Lucan stands up from the table in his corner and crosses over to speak with you. As he walks, he tucks a small bag under his shirt, presumably coins. You'll talk to Caius. You nod. Good, then you'll have your clothes and papers, I'm sure. You should make your way to Cyprus. I think you'll find the answers you seek there. I'd love to come along. You seem to be the kind of guy that action just follows, but I've got business to take care of. So I'll leave you here. I've done all I can for you. You thank him profusely. Anyway, until we meet again. He claps you on the back, whirls around, and heads for the door. Alright then. Nothing else from there. Wait. Why are you buying weapons from Hector? As far as Hector is concerned, these weapons are being sold to a merchant in Cyprus. He's a good man, a family man, and he's a friend of mine, but I had no choice but to keep him in the dark on this matter. His weapons have been a great help in outfitting our men, but a lawful man like Hector is better off not getting entangled in our dealings. This is the same shady man that was talking to Lucan earlier. He doesn't look inclined to talk to you. As a matter of fact, he makes a pointed effort to pretend you aren't even here. Okay, then. I'm curious about this town. Welcome to Ithaca. Ah, this is Ithaca. I heard mention of it several times, and we're supposed to be a merchant from here, so perhaps it's a good idea to come out here. This fisherman is unloading the day's catch from his boat. The catch looks pretty impressive. You ask him what he's going to do with it. There aren't enough people in Ithaca to eat these fish in a month. I ship it to a buyer in Cyprus. He sells it in the city, or ships it elsewhere. I don't really care which, but he pays good money. You nod and pretend that you're interested. The fisherman doesn't seem to particularly care whether you are or not, and isn't volunteering any more information, which is just as well, because you don't need any more. Alright. Well, at least we're seeing Ithaca here. Look around as I do. This townswoman wanders about on her daily business. You watch for a while. The daily business in a small town like Ithaca, however, isn't particularly interesting. You try to make small talk, but even as far as small talk goes, the conversation is particularly small. She doesn't have much to say that doesn't have to do with fishing or farming. The one interesting thing you hear about is the new town hall, which is apparently the talk of the town. Anytime a stone building is erected, it's apparently a big deal. This town's... okay, it's the same thing, basically. This looks like it's basically all the small houses of the residents and the like. I'm pretty certain there's not going to be anything in any of these. Oh. No, it's the same guy. He's just standing in a corner. Okay. Here's the building that's being constructed. This man wears heavy leather gloves as well as work boots. He holds a trowel in one hand, but as you watch, he tucks it in his tool belt to pick up a brick and put it in place. He seems pretty busy with his work, but he does spare a moment to talk to you. What are you building? Oh, this is going to be the town hall. The mayor needed an office, and the town decided we needed a meeting hall anyhow, so we're building it. It's a pretty big project. We're not going to just throw together something shoddy. We've got a team of men taking turns working. It's going to be brick, something that'll last. We've been working on it for a month now. Okay. Looks like there's another one here. Looks like this is meant to be Irene, and this Irene does not have any words. Unfinished! This scenario is unfinished. She's probably going to be a blacksmith or something like that. Or that's Hector's wife. I bet that's it. That's Hector's wife. It makes sense. Can't pick my way in there, so look through that. Let's head south. You approach a checkpoint with held breath. A man in the uniform of the order comes over and checks your papers, then looks you up and down. Apparently you pass because he goes on to the next person in line behind you. You walk on, trying not to break into a dead sprint away from the bridge. Look around, which I can't do much of, it seems. Okay. Wow. They said it's unfinished. They really were not kidding. Cyprus has empty buildings and the like here. Alright, well, now we're seeing the height of just how unfinished this place was. I thought there might be more to it. I didn't realize there was going to be this little. There wasn't even a note of when you enter Cyprus anything about it. There's no people here around here, really. I doubt there's going to be anything in the shops. We find shops. This is basically a storage. Also a storage. Also a storage. Oh, hello. A merchant does not speak to us. Oh, these are the docks. Oh, I like that. That is... Normally docks are just like a wooden barrier. This? I like this. Okay, that's a ladder upstairs that doesn't work. This is a mage, it looks like. But of course, he doesn't say anything. Edmund is his name. Okay, this is a big merchant hall. Merchant, townswoman, townsman, merchant, merchant. Nobody here says anything, do they? Doesn't respond. Yeah, nobody here says anything. I don't think anyone here is going to say anything. Oh, climb the ladder. This looks like a storage room for the merchants down there. Official, probably the mayor. Okay. I honestly expected and kind of hoped there'd be more than just this. Okay, that heads over to the other side of this place, which is where we need to go in order to continue our quest. Okay, this looks like it's a barracks. And that must be the captain of the no, not captain of the gods, captain of the guard. Oh, captain of the gods, what the hell was I thinking? Okay, that's the east side. Now we head to the west side. Cross to West Cyprus? Sure. Oh, that's interesting. Another merchant who doesn't have anything to say. That looks like it's a way out. No, I don't want to jump off. Oop, pushed it away. Hello. A monk. He's not doing anything. Reynaldo. You have to carefully pick your way through this shop just to avoid breaking your neck on all the clutter lying about on the floor. There is a menagerie of oddities in this room, from small card figurines to a full-size target dummy. Standing behind the counter is a small, red-haired man in his early 20s. He polishes a brass goblet with one hand and tries to keep a stack of books from toppling over with the other. Greetings, traveler. I'm Reynaldo. Allow me to welcome you to Alderman's Boutique of Odds, Ends, Curios, and Miscellany. He indicates the sign behind him, as if you needed to hear a fancy name to know this is a junk shop. Are you Alderman? No, actually, I'm Reynaldo, Alderman's assistant. Running a curios shop isn't a one-man job. Someone has to go out and procure all this stuff, and somebody has to sell it. I guess you could call me Alderman's apprentice. I manage the store. Where in the world does all this stuff come from? Oh, a bit here and a bit there. People come in and sell us stuff. Sometimes you just pick up things almost by accident. Like that target dummy. He indicates the large straw man in the corner. Can you believe somebody was actually throwing that out? I grabbed it before they could. Fools. You nod and try to pretend that you agree, but you have a hard time believing most of the stuff doesn't belong in a trash heap. Do people really buy all this? Well, sometimes. That dummy has been here 6 months, but I'm confident we'll be moving it sometime soon. Somebody will surely have a use for those cans of Drake musk, and ditto for these broken antique plates. You look at him doubtfully. Well, just because you don't want them doesn't mean nobody will. We do have some stuff that you might find more useful, though. Some traveling supplies and the like. No shop available. I was told to come here to get this fixed. Reynaldo takes the scorched rod from you carefully and holds it up to the light to see it better. Magical artifact. Seems to be a focusing aid. Where'd you get it from? No, don't answer. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Well, anyhow, this is beyond my ability. You look at him disappointedly, but he continues on. But you were sent to the right place, because there is a man here who can help you. No doubt you were sent here to see Alderman. I'm just an apprentice of sorts. Alderman is downstairs. Downstairs? His workshop. He spends just about every waking hour down there. Hell, he spends every sleeping hour down there as well. There's a trapdoor in the bedroom. You can go down and speak to him yourself. Don't be afraid to move some of the clutter out of your way. This room looks like the shop owner couldn't decide whether to make it a bedroom or a storage room. The result is what is probably the most cluttered bedroom you've ever seen. There's a large black anvil next to the bed that appears to be serving as a nightstand at present, as it is stacked high with dirty dishes. Even the bed is littered with odds and ends. An unidentified necklace. I'm not even going to bother taking it. Okay. I'm not going to look in there yet. I'm going to look around at the rest of this empty, barren, there's nothing here town. Okay, this is obviously... Ooh. Can't go in there. But this is obviously meant to be a house that is, abandoned or something. A brigand. Obviously meant to be another shop merchant or something. I guess this is meant to be the inn. Oh yeah, this is definitely meant to be the inn. Very small rooms, and it was implied that this is a very expensive inn, so... Man, they are overcharging. Hopefully the beds are at least comfortable. Alright, this is meant to be a temple. Doesn't say anything, though. Here we've got some kind of building. Storage. Hold on. No, I'm not jumping off that ledge. Looks like there may be a hidden path there. No, I'm not trying to jump off. This guy obviously has a point. You wouldn't put him there like that if he didn't. Implications that there's a hidden room over here. Which it appears you can't get into. Okay then. Not much more to this place. I still really like the design of the docks. That's all there is there. Okay, I guess... Let's go speak with Alderman. Over this way. See how much further we can go in this thing. Alright, down we go. It takes you several minutes and a lot of panting and heaving to move the furniture and junk obstructing this trapdoor. Eventually you have it cleared and you drop down the trapdoor. There really is a lot of junk down here. Alderman sits at his workbench, hunched over a small mirrored box with wires hanging out from all angles. You have to wonder how the man hasn't gone blind sitting in the dark like this. What are you doing down here? This is my workshop. I fix the things people sell to us before we put them on sale. Well, sometimes people ask me to repair something for them. I let Reynaldo run the actual store. I handle the behind-the-scenes stuff. I have become quite good at it over the years. I reckon I could fix just about anything you brought me. I heard that you could fix this. Ah, well, you almost certainly heard right. I'm the finest repairman in the Free Cities. What's the problem? Broken blender? Out of tune loot? Give me a look at it, and I'll have it right in a jiffy. You hand him the rod, and he looks at it quizzically for several minutes. Well... Yes, I've seen one of these. I'll get your potato masher right as rain in no time. You fix his error, informing him of the rod's true purpose. Eh? What's that? A teleportation rod? He looks at it again as if seeing it for the first time. Yes, maybe at one point. But certainly not anymore. No, this is damaged beyond repair, but I think I can turn it into a potato masher as promised. A potato masher? I need to bloody teleport, not mash potatoes! I thought you were the best tinker around. Yes, well, due to the rather, extensive wear, what I'm trying to say is... Finally, he gives up his hemming and hawing and throws up his hand. Oh, this thing is a bloody wreck. How the devil do you expect me to fix this? It's just a lump of mangled metal. He brandishes the ruined rod in your face. Does look pretty bad off. Oh, but don't worry. I do have a teleportation rod that a traveling wizard pawned on me some years back. Never came in to pick it back up. Not surprising. He said he was headed to the Forbidden Fortress or some such nonsense. Bit of a scatterbrained fellow by my reckoning. I'm sure he perished. Anyways, one man's loss is another's gain, right? Okay, how much for it? Well, since I am a master tinker and curios connoisseur, familiar in all trinkets under the sun, and, well, since your rod is beyond my means of salvaging, and my good name notwithstanding to be blemished by such misfortune, I am sometimes in the position to offer a remuneratory recompense, in situations such as the one we now find ourselves in. Finally, he spits it out. What I'm trying to say is I'll give it to you for free if you tell your friends that I managed to fix that. How about it? All right, I'll take it. Excellent! He goes rummaging through the numerous chests and shelves throughout the room, chattering all the time about every trinket he comes across. Half an hour later, he returns with a nondescript rod. Here you go, one teleportation rod just as promised. Don't forget to tell your friends. He hurriedly adds, Alderman and Alderman's Curios offers no guarantee of any good soldier repair and does not offer recompense for any injury, loss of life, blindness, deafness, uncontrolled hair growth, or other misfortune. Refer to Article 10, Line 21 of Alderman's Curios User Agreement. Enjoy Curios responsibly. Have you tested this yet? Alderman stares at you incredulously for several seconds, then bursts out laughing. Are you kidding? Oh, that's a laugh. Here, let me tell you something, kid, this is worth 1,000,000 coins. Never, never be the first to test a teleportation device. He finally regains his breath enough to wheeze. Oh, that's a good one. Funniest thing I've heard all week. Well, that's reassuring. How does it work? Alderman shrugs. Oh, hell if I know. It didn't come with an instruction manual. Just start pressing buttons. Something should happen. Just don't do it down here, please. Okay, so we have the teleportation rod. And now what? Climb to the governor's manse. Interesting that we can do that. Sure. As you climb the last step, you stop to look around. You stare out over an expanse of beautiful gardens. A plain of luscious, well-manicured grass extends to the north, until it is lost over the top of a gently sloping hill. The gardens are spotted with plazas and carefully trimmed hedges, through which brightly armored guards and lavishly dressed aristocrats stroll. Over the top of the hill to the north, you can see several large stone buildings. This must be where Cyprus's wealthy live. The houses are marvelous, and the largest house at the furthest end of the gardens can be described as nothing short of a mansion. You ask one of the nearby guards where you are. He responds simply, the governor's manse. Sounds like a good place to look for answers. But also be wise to be prudent in your search. We could use a teleportation rod at any point, but I'm not going to right now. We're going to look around first. This is a big area. The governor has a lot of space to himself. I mean, geez. Do you really need this much space? Ahead of you is the main plaza, where the entrance to the governor's manse lies. The plaza is filled with the soft sound of water gently falling into the pool in the sunken fountain. It is quite a display of opulence. Cyprus's location on the canal must have made it incredibly wealthy. Before you can think much more on it, you notice an even more surprising sight. Standing at the edge of the fountain is a man dressed in black velvet. That's curious. Very curious indeed. Okay, can't go in there, so I'm not going to bother. Not going to go up there yet. Okay, that's actually the entrance to the manse, it looks like. Can't go in there. Can't go in there. Okay. It's just a random... This well-dressed aristocrat, most likely a wealthy merchant, strolls through the gardens. He obviously doesn't enjoy being bothered by riffraff and makes a pointed effort to ignore you. Now, who's this guy? Well, here's a familiar face. Lucan is standing in the courtyard, tuning a lute that he cradles against his hip. He wears the same black tunic he did the last time you saw him, but it looks flawless, as if it were just ironed. Artemis, we certainly have a way of running into each other. Are you here to pay Governor Talos a visit as well? He chuckles and gives his lute an experimental strum. You play the lute? I dabble. You'll be surprised how many locked doors an instrument and a good song can open. What are you doing here? Why, what does any man do in the governor's manse? Visit the governor, of course. I hear it's all the rage these days. One wizard Alderbus himself is here for the very purpose, as a matter of fact. Wizard Alderbus. That's right. The head of the order is here to speak with Lord Talos. I don't think his visit will be a friendly one. And why are you visiting the governor? Any time an important figure visits the governor, we make it our business to know what is discussed. The governor, however, doesn't seem to agree and is never polite enough to send us a transcript of the conversation. So I come and play for them and make my own transcript. Sensible, eh? Now a better question is, what are you doing here? I think I might be able to put you to work if you don't have a job of your own to do. What do you have in mind? I'd like to spy on the good wizard Alderbus in his personal chambers. I am well known throughout the manse for my playing, and if I'm spotted around his quarters, they'll know I don't belong there. You, however, are a new face. And why would I do something like that? Lucan shrugs. I figured you'd want to know what your enemy is up to. Good point. I'll do it. Excellent! Now you can't just walk into a governor's manse, my friend. Well, I suppose you could, anyone is allowed, but you aren't going to discover anything that way, and you aren't going to get to the private quarters. What you need is a disguise. Has anyone ever told you that you'd make an excellent valet? A valet? What are you talking about? Wizard Alarbus travels with a rather large retinue. The governor's servants don't know all of Alarbus's retainers, and they're loath to get in their way. More than a few floggings have been handed out there hindering the wizard's servants. If you got a uniform from one of Alarbus's retainers, none of the governor's servants would know the difference. Of course, the rest of the retinue would likely spot you in a moment, so stay clear of them. But you'd have free reign of the manse. Sounds good. Where do I get a uniform? Lucan shrugs. Oh, beats me. You're a resourceful man. I don't have to do everything, do I? Just find one of his men and jump him. Or steal it while he's bathing. I don't care. One thing I can tell you is that the laundry room is in the basement. That may be helpful. Laundry room in the basement. Okay, I guess I'll keep that in mind. It's probably the only way. Enter the manse. Hold on a moment. Now, actually, you know what? I'm going to end this episode here. Even though we're not going to see much more, I may as well end this episode here. Next episode, we'll enter the manse, see what we can find, if anything, and probably use the teleportation rod after. I guess we're probably not going to see much more, but we'll see what we see. Till then, I'm Chester44, that is Artemis, this has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.